Some things in this world are best left unsaid. Throughout history, powerful kingdoms and rulers have fallen from grace simply because of the exchange of one word. In this video, we will discuss 10 things that Stoics advised not to share and keep private. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to like this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so and enable notifications by clicking the bell. If you do, please consider supporting our channel with super thanks, super chats, or super stickers. Your contribution makes a difference and allows us to keep bringing you transformative content like this. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video to stay up to date on our latest uploads and show your support for the channel. Number 1. Your wealth and possessions. The Stoics advise against excessive discussion of personal wealth and possessions. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not value or desire material possessions, for the wise man dwells on wisdom, not on gold." Luxuries and wealth can vanish in an instant due to market fluctuations, disasters, theft, and so on. So, rather than becoming overly reliant on material possessions for happiness, remain detached. If fate so dictates, be prepared to lose wealth with dignity. Also, resist the urge to brag about your expensive possessions. People obsess over wealth, which breeds envy and contributes to societal dissatisfaction. Instead of an endless accumulation of extravagances, be content with basic necessities. Instead of inflating your lifestyle, focus on developing your character and intellect. If you are fortunate enough to have excess wealth, rather than hoarding it, share it with those in genuine need. Ethical use of wealth demonstrates wisdom and compassion. Possessions only provide fleeting pleasure that fades quickly, whereas cultivating inner virtues produces genuine, long-lasting contentment, regardless of external conditions. Keep discussions focused on improving minds and lives, rather than inflating materials. The wise tend to understate their wealth and highlight better ways to use it. They recognize that true fulfillment comes from within, from serving others, not from material possessions. Follow their lead and avoid excessive discussion of possessions. Number 2. Other people's flaws and deficiencies. The Stoics warn against excessive debate about other people's flaws and shortcomings. As Marcus Aurelius advised, confine yourself to the present day. Dwelling on the flaws and misdeeds of others is ultimately unproductive. We are all flawed and make mistakes on our journeys through life. No one attains virtue in an instant. Rather than harsh condemnations, empathize with why people act ineffectively or harmfully. Often, it is the result of past trauma, fear, or misinformation. With compassion, we remember, "There, but for the grace of God go I." Focus your efforts on cultivating wisdom, ethics, and excellence in your own life. Lead by example. Actions speak louder than complaints about external factors beyond your control. When people act inappropriately, respond with patience and rational persuasion rather than reactive anger. We exist to help one another grow and learn at all stages. Stoics acknowledge our common human fallibility. Judging or insulting others exposes your own arrogance. It ignores the fact that you are likely to appear equally flawed in their eyes. Maintain a humble attitude. Of course, enlightened discussion of ethics and how we can all improve is appropriate among peers, but gossip that exaggerates flaws without context breeds negativity all around. You should avoid it. Number 3. Your ambitious plans and desires. The Stoics advise against boasting about your lofty goals and desires. Epictetus advised, "Do not make dreams of having what you do not have, but count the chief of your blessings and thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours." It is best to keep any lofty goals or hopes private until they have been manifested through disciplined effort. Avoid feeding pride by constantly discussing future goals that may not be realized. Allow your actions and accomplishments to speak for themselves. First and foremost, I wish to cultivate virtue, wisdom, compassion, and inner excellence. Do not seek external rewards such as fame, status, or wealth as ends in themselves. Joy comes from living rightly, not from applause. Stay fully present and grateful for the current gifts in your life. Handle humble responsibilities with care and vigor. A good life is built on small moral steps rather than distant glory. Of course, share plans and mutual encouragement with trusted loved ones who support your growth and hold you accountable, but resist the larger temptation of vanity. Making unrealistic promises can lead to disappointment for both you and others. Maintain your focus on character development, charitable contributions, and helping others. If acclaim or possessions follow, allow them to arrive uninvited as a natural result of your principles. Do not take more than you need. Number 4. Physical pleasures. The Stoics advise limiting discussions about physical pleasures and indulgences. Epictetus advised, limit your enjoyment of bodily pleasures so that you never depend on them. Excessive discussion of appetites for food, sex, leisure, and other sensual gratifications magnifies these fleeting desires. However, the wise remain detached from fleeting pleasures, such as passing clouds, rather than becoming enamored with them. Practice moderation and self-control when partaking in any lawful sensual pleasures. Do not let them seduce you into losing your reason or self-control. Enjoy such pleasures in moderation, then continue with purpose. Instead, focus your vital energy on cultivating virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These provide genuine happiness regardless of external circumstances, rather than fleeting pleasures that tempt like sirens. Seek to master your desires rather than becoming enslaved by them due to a lack of restraint. Control your emotions. Don't let them dictate your thoughts or actions. Maintain reason's authority. Having fun with family is fine, but you should stay focused on your goals and behavior. Do not sacrifice long-term fulfillment for fleeting pleasures that vanish like mist in the sunlight. In your speech, aim to motivate others to live rationally, ethically, and purposefully. Elevate discourse beyond base appetites to rich exchanges of wisdom and significance. Number 5. The difficulties you face. The Stoics advise against excessive discussion of your difficulties and struggles. As Marcus Aurelius stated, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Difficulties are unavoidable. Face them with poise and fortitude, rather than constantly venting. When adversity strikes, avoid futile complaining or lamenting to anyone who will listen. This frequently leads to exaggerated negativity, which infects both your own mind and those who indulge in it. Keep difficulties in perspective. Treat trials and tribulations as opportunities to demonstrate and strengthen virtues such as bravery, justice, patience, and wisdom. Overcoming obstacles strengthens character and leadership. Face adversity with grace and dignity. Do not unnecessarily broadcast details about your struggles to others. Maintain your composure and deal with problems rationally without seeking sympathy. Of course, if you truly need help, seek it from close friends and family. Growth occurs when difficult lessons are properly digested. Reflect on each challenge to discover what it teaches you about life and yourself. Persevere mindfully through the darkest nights to see the dawn. Don't be discouraged. With practice, you can remain stable amidst life's ups and downs, neither inflated by praise nor deflated by blame. You become the hurricane's eye, centered inside as the storms swirl outside. In order to grow, confront philosophical challenges. Number 6. Your accomplishments and awards. The Stoics warn against boasting excessively about one's own accomplishments and honor. As Seneca said, "True joy is a victory, not a truce." Maintain your humility even in the midst of great accomplishments. Avoid showing arrogance or pride in your abilities and accomplishments. Consider them to be due in part to the help of others, favorable fortune, and natural blessings, rather than your own superiority. Nobody succeeds alone. Spread your positive fortune. Instead of glorifying yourself, use your accomplishments to help your community and improve the lives of others. Strive for excellence, not prestige. Fame and wealth may follow. Consider external validation as a reason for greater responsibility rather than greater pride. Achievements come with a responsibility to continue using your gifts wisely. Maintain your humility as you progress toward mastery. Don't rest on your laurels or be satisfied with repeating past successes. Rather than clinging to past accomplishments, continue to improve and surpass yourself. Yesterday's victories are meaningless unless they are followed up on. Of course, celebrate your progress and allow yourself to be satisfied, but don't obsess over credentials and trophies. True joy stems from righteous action, not praise. Above all, prioritize virtue cultivation and human service. Number 7, gossip and rumors. The Stoics strongly advise against careless gossiping and spreading rumors. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Resist your tongue's urge to spread tales. Idle talk about others detracts from one's purpose. Avoid making petty comments or speculating about other people's lives. Don't give this toxic junk food more room to grow." If a topic does not inspire or truly instruct, it should not be discussed in depth. Before speaking to others, think carefully about the source, content, and effect of your words. Are your words encouraging, helpful, and responsible? Ask, "Is it good?" rather than, "Is it true?" In order to inspire others to excel, guide conversations around meaningful topics such as ethics, nature, learning, and ways to add value to the world. Do not perpetuate negative patterns by constantly revisiting flaws. Of course, when necessary, openly discuss concerns and even flaws to improve your community, but without adding unnecessary details to save a scandal. Speak with context, nuance, and compassion. Idle gossip causes distraction from one's purpose and dissatisfaction by exaggerating flaws that cannot be fixed. The more we focus on the shadows, the darker life appears. Guide your tongue and ear towards wisdom. The dignity of humanity requires that we be mindful of how we interact. Elevate your exchanges. Do not wallow in matters unbecoming of our shared divinity. The right speech uplifts everyone. Number 8, fate's unfairness. The Stoics advise against excessive lamentation over the apparent unfairness of life's circumstances. Epictetus said, "Measure not what happens to you, but how you react." Events don't always go as planned, but dwelling on injustice beyond your control only adds to your distress. Accept external conditions that you cannot control. Reality is not wasting energy by endlessly complaining about hardships or misfortunes that cannot be changed. The past is permanent. Instead, use your strength to respond with wisdom and virtue. When confronted with trials, look for ways to demonstrate courage, justice, temperance, and transcendent purpose. Take the appropriate action to improve things within your control. Accept the rest. With practice, you become unaffected by ups and downs beyond your control, neither dwelling on adverse luck nor taking favorable fortune personally. You respond appropriately to events as they unfold. Of course, try to correct injustices, but without resentment for what cannot be changed. In adversity, look for meaning and growth rather than just reasons to blame. Suffering is an inevitable part of life. Your response defines you. Do not burden others by focusing on injustice. Lead by facing challenges with poise, good humor, and a determination to shine. Your actions can inspire others. Number 9. Death and mortality. The Stoics advise against an obsessive discussion of death and mortality. As Seneca said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the end of life. Let us postpone nothing." The presence of death brings life into focus. Maintain a clear sense of priorities. While the inevitability of death should inspire us to use our time wisely, obsessing over it breeds morbid fear that distracts us from our goals. Accept death's uncertainty in a calm manner. It is impossible to escape. Live each day as if it were your last. Do not put off expressing love, making amends, embarking on adventures, or experiencing creative joy. Perceive time as precious and fleeting. Make the most of the moments you have. When death arrives, be prepared to leave gracefully, with your affairs in order, relationships repaired, and potential realized. Do not cling to life after your season is over. Go and meet the unknown in peace. Of course, take reasonable precautions and avoid unnecessary risks, but don't define yourself by avoiding death. Creating meaning is found by courageously embracing life rather than hiding from death. Remember, death provides context for what is most important right now. To keep priorities straight, weigh options in light of time constraints. Make the most of your short life. Do not bother others with constant gloomy discussions about mortality. Enjoy fellowship and service in positive spirits, whatever the circumstances. A long life provides the gift of increased generosity. Number 10. Future. The Stoics warn against excessive discussion and worry about the uncertain future. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look within. Inside is the fountain of good, and it will always bubble up if you will ever dig." It is natural to think ahead and make reasonable plans, but fixating on controlling future outcomes only breeds anxiety, because what happens is ultimately beyond your control. Instead, concentrate your thoughts on fully living each day with purpose, wisdom, and service. The present moment is the only time when you truly have control. Make use of it right now. Of course, learn from the past and plan wisely for the future, but don't get caught up in reminiscing or daydreaming at the expense of carrying out current responsibilities. Keep things in perspective. When your mind wanders to future what-if scenarios, gently bring your attention back to the current task or interaction. Progress necessitates taking each minute as it comes. This leads to a fulfilling life. Trust that by aligning your character and conduct with timeless virtues, you will be prepared to face whatever the future holds. Prepare to face uncertainty. Maintain focus in each moment. Do not bother others by obsessively worrying over hypotheticals. Inspire those around you with a calm presence and reason, focusing on the potential we all have right now. If you're listening, I appreciate you sticking around until the end. If any of these Stoic lessons resonated with you today, feel free to start a Stoic discussion in the comments section. I welcome Stoic discussions because they represent what great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca advocated for. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, and if you want more content like this, subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope the Stoic ways bring you peace and serenity.